I hope this post finds everyone in a better mood than I am after catching up on this current season. So let me get this out of the way. I don't hate Kyle. Sure, she's annoying, as most fans agree, but I've been a die-hard RHOBH fan since day one, so I'll always have a soft spot for the OG. Now, let's talk about what's actually bothering me. Kyle's complete inability to be honest about her and Mao's separation. I mean, come on, this is reality TV. Her whole life is on camera, but somehow, the one thing she can't keep it real about is her marriage falling apart. And let's be honest, she's clearly convinced that protecting him is protecting herself in the long run, probably holding out hope they'll somehow get back together. It's almost like she's clinging to a version of their relationship that's long gone. But aside from the divorce drama, something else is bugging me this season. Mao, where did his charm go? Seriously, the guy used to be the life of the party. Remember those white parties? The fun, the laughter, the silliness? Now he's just meh, like whatever. What happened to the guy who was so entertaining? Now he's got this monotone, lifeless vibe. He looks like someone told him a joke, and he's too tired to laugh. Are we witnessing Mao trying to exit the show quietly? Is he so deep into his business world that he's just given up on anything resembling fun? Or have I just finally realized that he was always kind of a dud? Even with the cheating rumors, I could at least tolerate him. But now, when he talks about taking Portia to Europe, he sounds like a robot reading a script. There's no passion, no spark, nothing. He's dead behind the eyes. Someone please engage with me on this, because he used to be my favorite house husband, but now? Ugh, gross, rip Mao. And for the record, I've never found him attractive. His voice always sounded like he's been breathing through his nose for too long. It's like that's how men act when they're done. They completely shut off. And I'm sorry to say, I've seen this happen a lot after decades of marriage. It's almost cruel, really. He's just checked out. No more fucks to give. His emotional walls are so thick, he doesn't know how else to protect himself. Honestly, I feel you on this one. I used to love Kyle and Mao together, and I really didn't want them to break up. But here's the thing. Mao's got a huge business now, and all the stress that comes with it. I don't care that he gets high. I'm betting he's probably self-medicating at this point, drowning out his midlife crisis. It's like he's just tired, and the weight of everything is getting to him. Meanwhile, he gets to leave the family house and chill in his bachelor pad, completely free of any reminders of his married life. Kyle's stuck in the family home, and let's be real, that has to be tough. It's so sad. After they built this amazing life together, they're now just not enjoying it together. I feel for her. She's struggling, and honestly, I can't blame her. Oh, poor Yolanda. I just watched a scene where she's in the throes of her worst Lyme disease flare-up, getting dental work done, and surprise, David's there, holding her hand with his phone in the other, kissing her on the lips while she's literally numb from the procedure. Classy. Then he casually jokes with the doctor that he can't have sex with her for 48 hours. Nice touch, right? What a catch. Sure, Yolanda had her flaws, especially with the whole enabling Brandy thing, but I actually liked her on the show. She had a big heart and genuinely meant well. But David, he clearly sees women as accessories. If she's sick and can't be useful to him, she's just a broken object to discard. And as for Yolanda's chronic Lyme disease, let's not pretend it was Lyme. Once she had those implants removed, suddenly her autoimmune symptoms vanished. What a shock! Watching her go on about her Lyme was exhausting. David only ever wanted a trophy wife to stand beside him while he played the piano at his awkward parties. Those were something. I get that Yolanda was probably a bit extreme with all the money and resources at her disposal, but you married her, dude. And when things got tough, he ditched her for someone half his age. Real classy, David. Unpopular opinion time. I actually like Sutton. Why? Because she's so delightfully out of touch. Seriously, her quirky fashion sense and bizarre comments are what make her stand out. It's refreshing to watch someone who isn't trying to be this polished, perfect character, unlike Kyle and Dorrit, especially Kyle, whose every word feels rehearsed and, well, boring. We still don't know why Kyle and Mauricio split, but we sure know all about Sutton's messy divorce. Priorities, right? I genuinely think Sutton is a fantastic villain. She's emotional, unpredictable, and just awkward enough to be entertaining. I wish they'd cast more people like her, high maintenance, completely out of touch, and unintentionally hilarious. Not like Brandy, who started off wild and chaotic, but clearly just became a paycheck chaser in later seasons. Sutton's always been the odd one out in Beverly Hills, but in the best way. After years of casting glamorous, Botox-obsessed women, they finally bring in an actually wealthy housewife who's the complete opposite. Awkward, quirky, and totally dorky. I'm pretty sure Rinna thought she'd be an easy target, but what makes Sutton so great is that she's volatile. She reacts to every snide remark, every little dig, and doesn't back down, even if she's defending herself in the most cringe-worthy way possible. It's like they threw an awkward nerd into a group of Regina George clones, just because they're all wealthy. It's hilarious. I came in late, only catching the last season, and I have to say, Sutton is absolutely out of touch, and she makes me cringe sometimes. But as someone who's ODHDer, I love her. I don't know her whole backstory, so I'm only judging her on one season, and a couple of episodes. But she seems like the kind of person I could actually be myself around. I feel like I could just speak my mind, and she'd be totally cool with it. Plus, her responses are always so unexpected. I bet anyone she trusts could call her out on her inconsistencies without her even getting mad. Honestly, I just like her. She's in her own little world, and she's got the financial stability to back it up. Good for her. I kind of envy that, honestly. Mauricio and the whole payoff affordability situation. Why would he need to bribe anyone when he's already separated from his wife? What was Kathy even talking about? That photograph has already been shown to the public, so it's not like he's paying anyone off to keep that under wraps. Honestly, I feel like there's something I'm missing here. Oh, and get ready. Kathy's about to drop a whole bunch of cryptic, vague hints about Mauricio that we're definitely supposed to pay attention to. She's channeling her inner big sister, trying to play detective. What she meant was that, in the past, there were rumors of Mauricio cheating, but no hard evidence. Kathy's basically saying the reason no one has proof isn't because Mauricio's been paying people off, because, according to her, he can't even afford that. Cue the laugh track. My take? I think Kathy's the one who set this whole thing up. She's going on and on about how it only takes a phone call and insists that Mauricio doesn't have the cash to make anything go away, even though Kyle's clearly over it and asking her to stop talking about it. Kathy's got this weird need to control her family the way their mother allegedly did. And let's be real, Kyle's marriage is the most stable looking of the bunch. While Kim needs a whole management team, and her marriage and parenting skills are constantly up for debate. But hey, that's just my conspiracy theory, and I could be way off. Ah, Carlton, where do I even begin? The woman tried so hard to come across as some sexually liberated, spiritually enlightened goddess, but really, she was just a hot mess. I can't even begin to unpack the absolute cringe of her obsession with surrounding her toddler with hot women. It's a hard no for me. Honestly, I'm pretty sure that level of weirdness could get her an investigation. And don't even get me started on the people who think Carlton saw right through Kyle. Yeah, okay, if by saw right through you mean she already had a massive chip on her shoulder about Kyle before the cameras even started rolling because of her deep, deep insecurity, then sure. As for that graduation party disaster, the one where she showed up hammered, looking like she just swam through a swamp. Yeah, that was her idea of being strong and badass. Spoiler, it wasn't. Oh, let me just be completely honest here. I love Kim Richards. Yep, I said it. As an addict in recovery, I've got a soft spot for her, like a real soft spot. She's quirky, she's funny, and I'm all about it. I'm only on season 4, you know, the one where they go to Palm Springs. So I'm fully aware that my feelings may be shattered by later seasons. But right now, she's a gem, and let's not forget the juicer. I mean, come on, it's the most absurdly endearing thing ever. Good for her. But here's the thing, I really like Kim. I want things to work out for her. Watching her struggles, you can't help but feel for her. And there's a certain humor she brings to the show when she's sober that I genuinely appreciate. She's funny, she's got that weird charm, and the way she'd needle Rinna was classic. But let's get real though, when she's not sober, oh boy, that's when the train wreck hits and things get intense. Kyle takes so much heat for being tough on Kim, and Kim, who's got a thing for tossing accusations around, is too terrified to stand up to Kathy. And as someone who kinda feels for Kyle, yeah, no, I couldn't stand Kim's behavior. It was like watching someone unravel, and I genuinely felt for Kyle, stuck cleaning up Kim's mess after mess. Honestly, it brought up some bad memories for me, and no matter how much I liked Kim when things were good, it never really balanced out all the chaos she brought. Oh, absolutely, the messiest moments are the best. Personally, I'm all about when the girls let loose and really let their chaos shine. There have been a few iconic ones, but hands down, my favorite has to be the time Denise completely lost it at Kyle's dinner party. Picture this, she's got her jacket on upside down. No clue how, but it's happening, and then she practically lunges at Dorrit, who's just trying to help. Like, calm down, it's just a jacket, not a life or death situation. But Denise, she was on one, and honestly, it was hilarious. That moment. Absolute gold. Oh, so Sutton's wallet is apparently that big, yet she's not flying around in a private jet. How utterly shocking. Let's all talk about that, shall we? I mean, sure, Sutton could have just chartered a jet for her mother to attend a sustainable fashion show. Makes total sense, right? I mean, what's the point of promoting sustainability if you're not going to burn through fossil fuels like a true champion of the environment? Classic move. Now, let's take a moment to unpack the sheer irony of it all. A private jet for a single person flying across the country for a show about sustainable fashion? Oh yeah, that totally checks out. Super on brand. Let's go ahead and call her an environmental terrorist for not hopping on a private jet, because that's definitely the issue here, right? But surprise, there's actually a logical explanation here. First, a lot of people forgot to mention the massive software issue that grounded tons of flights that day. Second, flying your mom privately to a sustainable fashion event? Yeah, that'd be pretty hypocritical. Third, Sutton was in Augusta. You think getting a private jet, there is a piece of cake? Not so much. Sure, if she was in Atlanta, maybe it could have happened, but booking a last-minute private jet on the same day? Total nightmare. Not to mention, many charter services, depending on your membership tier, have cutoff times for bookings, often 12 hours before. So booking a plane last minute? Not happening. Oh, and while Sutton's rich, it still doesn't make sense to blow $20,000 on a last-minute private jet when you don't have to. Phaedra? She's got her own set of issues, living above her means. A private jet isn't just $20,000. There are last-minute booking fees for captains and flight attendants. It adds up fast. But sure, let's just ignore all that and make shallow digs at Sutton. I get it, you're trying to score points, but honestly, this is the kind of argument broke people make. Just because you've got the cash doesn't mean throwing $20,000 around is a smart move. That's how people like Dorrit end up in the mess they're in. But hey, let's all pretend it's as simple as booking a jet on a whim. Makes total sense, right? Oh my god, Sutton and Denise are really making my morning. Hold up. Did Sutton just casually light up a joint at the table? I'm dying, she's a whole mood. Denise, on the other hand, clearly woke up and chose violence with that upside-down jacket. Iconic. I'm just sitting here binge-watching today, picking peace over chaos. And when Sutton lit that joint, I almost lost it. Like, yes, Sutton, go ahead and fire that up. I literally just posted about that upside-down jacket too. Definitely one of my favorite messy moments from over the years. Just pure gold. So who's everyone's favorite housewife? Mine seems to change every season. I'll finally settle on liking one, and then they pull a whoa moment that makes me go. But off the top of my head, I think Adrienne, Camille, Lisa, and Kyle are kind of iconic, especially the OGs, before all the fakery took over. As for right now, I gotta say, Garcelle is a standout. She's not the typical best housewife material since she's grounded, smart, and humble. Basically everything that doesn't scream drama. But that's exactly what makes me like her so much. All-time fave, definitely LVP. I mean, Villa Rosa, the swans, that $1 million wedding, the dogs. Honestly, do I even need to explain? Kyle gets a shout out though. I know, it's a totally unpopular opinion here, but still. And then there's Sutton. Say what you will about her, yeah, she's out of touch. Her style can be quirky to the point of weird, and sometimes it's downright terrible, but the girl delivers. She's carried the last 3 seasons on her back, and honestly, she's amazing for reality TV. Dorit had her moment in the new season with the whole Kyle drama at the start. But after that, she just got so boring. It was all about PK's alcoholism and non-stop attacks on Sutton. Yawn.